Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'd like to talk about January and the new year of 2018, because this is a year of new changes, of course, but what we're really going to be looking at are major shifts in the economy, as well as major earth changes. So these are the high points that I want to be talking about. But let me talk about some of the highlights for the year. Then I'm going to go into great detail for the month of January. But looking at what's going on, where you have to know where Rahu and Ketu are. Rahu is the north node of the moon and Ketu is the south node of the moon. Rahu being in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is all about family. It's all about the coming together to feel connected to other people. And with Rahu being in Cancer, this disturbs this. And people are feeling alienated, disconnected. So what are they searching for? A sense of power through family. And for the most part, families are being torn apart. Families are feeling disconnected. So people are looking for that sense. What happens in the end result? People being drawn into cults. Major cults will be on the rise this year. And with Ketu being in the sign of Capricorn, it's all about government and the major breakdowns of the government and what's to evolve out of this. And as I said before, I mentioned to everyone around the month of August to invest in cryptocurrency. This is the wave of the future. Now, many people laughed at me, especially when I wrote an article in 2008 about a new transformational change in how we exchange money. I wrote this article many years ago, and I didn't quite understand about the change of currency, but this is what I knew. And then I even said the year of transformation would be 2012, all concerning the way that money is exchanged. And now we have the involvement of cryptocurrency, which is here to stay. It is the wave of the future. But what's going to start happening this year is more and more and more regulations put on it. Why? I'll tell you why. Because this takes the power away from governments, away from the banks, and now the governments are going to try to instill more and more regulations on the wave of future, because this involves money, big money, and you're going to see these results transpire through this year as the governments and the banks, which are absolutely more corrupt than any individual. So we're looking at the corruption of government, banks, and money as they try to get their footing back away from the people. But what happens with cryptocurrency is it gives the power to the people. And I might add, this is global. This is happening all over the world. This is not just in the United States, the United States stock market. No. This involves investments, huge investments around the world. It couldn't be a bigger deal. So with that, you're going to find that cryptocurrency is the wave of the future, and it's not going away, like it or not. And I told many people to invest. In August, I said, pay attention. Those that did, I had many, many emails from those who did, who are very wealthy today. And let me remind you, my information comes from astrology, and it is essentially the trends. So Looking at the major trends, as I said, the cryptocurrency, money, finances are the biggest change that are happening this year. Remember the last time that Rahu and Ketu were in these signs, they take 18 and a half years to go through the entire zodiac. So looking back 18 and a half years ago, where Rahu was in Cancer and Ketu was in Capricorn, was 1999 to the year 2000. Remember, this was the time of the dot-com when the bubble burst. But those years, people were riding high on the economy. And now is the time you can ride high on the economy, but be prepared to pull out, particularly definitely by 2019, but this is the year that there is going to be major highs and major lows. And when this happens, a lot of people can make a lot of money. So use this as a year of financial boom. When it's low, invest, because it's going to ride high again, and vice versa. But be prepared. This is the year that it's pretty much at its peak, and it's going down after this. So be ready. Now, remember I said that there's going to be more of a rise of cults. So rest assured there's going to be a cult like rising that's going to be like a political party that's like a cult that's going to take hold of everyone's mind and try to control the masses and get people to follow in another whole direction. So there's many cults that will be forming throughout this year, but one will be in the form of a political party. This is the year of major earthquakes. Major earthquakes around the world. I went back and did some extensive research on the times when Rahu was in the sign of Cancer and Ketu was in Capricorn. One of those years, I might add, was the year of the biggest earthquake in San Francisco. Happened the year of 1906. And this is where I think in the West, there's going to be more and more earthquakes occurring, and around the world, even Australia. Terrorism is definitely on the rise as we have Mars this year is going to go into Capricorn and go retrograde out of bounds during the summer. But for right now, while we still have Ketu in the sign of Cancer, you're going to see, no, Capricorn. Ketu is in Capricorn. Rahu's in Cancer. But these poles are going to affect government, but they're going to affect people's emotions. And when people are emotional, you see the rise and the fall of the economy, and the earth shakes. So there's going to be many shakeups in the world, particularly many earthquakes. And beginning in January, everything starts out as a big bang. Another thing you're going to see throughout this year is more weather, severe weather. And importantly, many uncoverings of hidden agendas by the government. This is the year that we're going to lose great respect for the government and around the world, because it's going to uncover things of the past where we thought we could trust our government. And they lied to us, particularly about the finances. This is a year of financial boom, but some of the things that are going to be uncovered could involve where all the money disappeared around the big crash of 2008. There were trillions of unaccounted money disappeared. There was many government bailouts, but where did those trillions go? We're going to find out. This is a year of unveiling and uncovering a lot of corruption with the government and the finances. Where did it all go? Where was it? We're going to get some answers. And some other unveiling things will be, of course, who killed Kennedy? As well as what happened in Roswell. The aliens. Because this summer is going to breed more and more violence, the threat of nuclear war. As this happens, we have visitations from outer space to help calm this world, because nuclear energy not only destroys our world but the universe, and it has to be stopped. We have visitors that help with this. This winter, January in particular, you're going to find this will be one of the colder winters in the Northern Hemisphere. Likewise, it'll be even hotter in the Southern Hemisphere. So brace yourself for extremes in the weather. Health discoveries, many health discoveries, and what we are discovering, what we know, all the toxicity of things in our environment and how they are contributing to so many health problems. And these discoveries will promote and turning in the right direction for healing of many diseases that have been prevalent throughout the past. Now, because planet Uranus has been stationing at 0 degrees of Aries. This is the Aries point, and this represents radical shifts and changes globally throughout the world. And because of this year, the changes that are occurring, nothing will be the same. I get this about the way people think, conscious awareness. It's changing. People are starting to awaken. There is a new level of awareness and consciousness in the world that will heal and help our planet, because people are not so ignorant anymore. They're very aware. Now, this month of January, we have 2 full moons. And when you have 2 full moons, this is called the blue moon. So January 2nd is a full moon, as well as January 31st. And this just represents that there is a new light and a new awareness that is waking up this month and will flavor and influence the entire year of 2018. Now, I do think for the first 6 months we're going to be on some major highs, but on the last 6 months there's going to be some lows. So gauge your investments and gauge the direction of your life through this. Mars is conjunct Jupiter every 2 years, but the last time that it was exactly conjunct Jupiter was August 9th of 1982, and this represents music, creativity, because it's in the sign of Libra. That was the last time they exactly conjoined in Libra. And so this will be a year of beautiful music and creations. Theater, the arts are going to excel, and we're going to have major songs that move the soul, move the heart, because this is a year of major emotional changes. Mercury will be retrograde. I'm talking the sidereal Vedic chart, not tropical Western astrology, but Mercury will be in the water signs every time it goes retrograde. This represents a healing on an emotional level, and consequently music and creative arts come out to express these feelings. January 16th is a very important day. This is the day of the new moon, and also Mars will enter Scorpio, which makes it extremely, extremely intense. And most of all, what's going to be very interesting is going to be that we're going to have Uranus and Mars. When Mars is 0 degrees of Scorpio and we have Uranus at 0 degrees of Aries, they are exactly in a 6-8 relationship. And this represents a major shift. This is a day that we could have some major shakeups in the world, outbreaks of terror, violence, anger. Things will be moving, things will be shaking. Watch this day. This is a turning point for the month, January 16th. There will be angry attacks. There can be terrorism. And this will flavor the onset of a lot of violence throughout this year. People are angry, and the end result will be more and more earthquakes and changes throughout the world. Also, rest assured, because of the heat and things are building, you're going to find that this is going to be a year of extreme drought. Therefore, more and more fires throughout the world, and especially in California. So if I want to say what is the biggest change that's going to be happening this year, it is the economy. And the economy is always a reflection of the mass consciousness, the people's emotions. Watch this. Cryptocurrency is here to stay, and it's going to revolutionize the world. Just like they couldn't imagine credit cards when they came out. How could that work? No one could imagine. No one could figure it out. And the same goes for the internet. No one knew the transformation and the change that the internet would bring about in the world. The same as for cryptocurrency. It's here to stay. And remember this, you can monitor and know the changes of the ups and downs in the economy if you follow astrology. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like to have a consultation with me, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Or if you would like to learn Vedic astrology, go to my university, which is University of Vedic Astrology.com. And for fascinating articles on the economy and on astrology, I have a magazine, which is astrologicmagazine.com. Thank you and Happy New Year.